And like always, you've completed your mission.
Like always.
Those words don't come from me. You must know what they say about you here.
No, I don't know. Enlighten me.
Well, you have kind of a reputation. It's actually rather flattering.
What exactly do they say?
Oh, you want to know? I didn't think...
Simple curiosity, nothing more.
Everybody kept saying that Galeb Bazori has been in tough spots before, and that you come through them unscathed. They were right.
Don't listen to gossip. Forge your own opinions.
Don't worry about it.
It's not a natural thing here. It takes some experience.
Mens et manus.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. It's Latin. My mind wandered for a moment. You didn't tell me what was in those files you gave the prince.
I don't see how that's any of your business.
To make up your own mind about something, the best way is to go to the source. And apparently, Jason Moore is well informed.
I see. You'll have to be patient, Fang.
Do you think your success on the mission could play to our advantage? I mean, for...
The prince will decide your fate when the time comes. Being useful to her can't hurt. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I just want to get it over with. Like when you're going into finals.
Even if there's no going back?
It's a little late for that, isn't it?
It is.
Your child, Berrel Underwood, did he have any second thoughts?
I don't want to discuss it.
He's your only child, so I wondered how it went. Well, could you enlighten me?
Fang, are you sure that's all this is about?
Yes, obviously.
Fang, we can't trust Berrel. I want you to stay away from him, for your own good. Do you understand?
Yes. Loud and clear. I'll be careful.
Don't dwell on it anymore. He's not worth wasting your energy. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fang, I'm going to have a word with him.
Oh? To Berrel? Why?
I trust you, but I don't trust him.
I asked you not to go near him. Apparently, I didn't make myself clear enough.
I thought the prince was gonna call for you any minute now.
I'm sure I'll have enough time to clear the air with him first. Once and for all. While you're waiting, stay put.
As you wish.
Just one more, and then you can go rest.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Ortiz.
Any news here?
Everyone is stressed out. I've never seen anything like it. They're all talking in hushed voices. They barely dare to look at each other.
People and their moods. I'm not interested in that.
I saw them take one of Jason Moore's bodyguards below. To question him, I imagine. That could be of interest to you. Say, how are things with the girl?
Excuse me.
It's Zhu Feng, right?
She's not a girl.
Things going okay?
The interest certain people have taken in her has given me cause for concern.
Maybe that's something you should talk about with the person in question. Do you think you'll embrace her soon?
As soon as possible, once the prince gives me permission.
You met Fang at MIT, didn't you?
I first discovered her by reading one of her articles.
What does she write?
She studies the blue economy.
To each his own. I don't even know what that means.
It's about hope. A hope of making up for centuries of exploitation.
Since when are you concerned about that?
Since I saw Berrel poison our kind.
Blood or money? I've never embraced anyone.
How come?
The story of my life, and my unlife. I have no progeny, mortal or otherwise.
By choice?
Yes, and no. When things weren't so strict, I could have asked, but I didn't have anyone in mind. Not like you and Fang. Now it's too late, as I've clearly been made to understand.
You shouldn't have any regrets, Sylvia. Sometimes your progeny can be quite a disappointment.
I've already heard that. From my own parents. Be that as it may, I hope the prince will allow you to do it.
I don't know.
I hope last night isn't weighing on you too heavily.
I'm all right.
The prince won't base her decision on just that. You've already proven your worth, Mr. Bazori.
We'll see about that. I'd better be going.
See you.
I'm sorry, but I need to take a break.
A message from Kaius. Need you downstairs. Urgent issue. Bad timing. I'm going to have to choose. Help Kaius or speak with Berrel.
We're waiting for Mr. Leto's signal. Until then, if you have any questions, save them. Got it?
No problem.
Great. This is the first time we've worked together. I'm big on discipline.
No problem.
Have you talked to Mr. Leto yet?
I want to report on his activities pronto. I don't like the sound of that at all. Oh, there you are. Follow me, please. We'll speak in private. I said in private. Come on. Can we get this over with quickly?
You wanted to see me?
Happy to see you, Galeb. We don't usually let anybody down here, but I can bend the rules for you.
To what do I owe this honor?
I need you. Something's come up. On the night of the attack, someone sent a message to an unauthorized recipient.
Do you know who it was?
Not now, but I will soon enough. Otherwise, the prince will have my head. Galeb, I need your help. I get the feeling that it's all connected. It's too huge to be a coincidence.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Jara Drory.
What you're telling me is extremely serious. I hope you have proof.
if I did, do you think I'd be asking for your help? But I wouldn't accuse her unless I had serious doubts. Think it through carefully. For starters, she's one of the few who knows how the system works.
She'd be able to cover her tracks, wouldn't she?
Maybe. But maybe she made a mistake.
According to our intel, Jara may have been captured.
She was caught in her own trap. Anyways, nothing concrete. Just a hunch, if you want to call it that. In my place, under the current circumstances, I can't really go poking my nose in her business.
And I can.
Nobody will bother you. I'm not asking for much. Just take a look in Jara's room to see if you can find anything that ties her to any of this. And if you could do it quickly.
Why?
Because I'm about to erase a ton of data. It's the Code Red protocol. And since Jara vanished, the Prince wants her personal data to disappear along with her. That doesn't give us much time. You in?
I could maybe go and take a look around.
Great. I found a key to her room. Take it.
Thanks.
It's our last chance to recover the data from Jara Drury's computer before everything disappears for good. Just insert this thumb drive and it will download everything I need. If she betrayed us, I'll know.
Fine. I'll go see what I can find.
Thanks. One last thing.
Uh-huh.
If you could keep this just between you and me.
Fine.
And don't come back to see me here. It's supposed to be sealed. It'll look suspicious. I'll send in an engineer after you. Give him the drive when you're done, but don't tell him anything. We have to keep this between us.
As you wish.
Weren't you the one who was doing surveillance on the Rockstar Bunch?
No, doesn't ring a bell.
You all look alike.
Galeb, our secret agent is back already. The soldier is on furlough.
Not for long, I'm afraid. The Prince will undoubtedly have some new task for me.
At least she trusts you. She hardly speaks to her primogen. Even Berrel is in the dark.
He's not used to that. It'll be good for him. I heard you were doing business with him.
It's something to do with the Rosemont Society, my foundation. Why?
I see.
All I can tell you is that Berrel's really the one who is in charge of it. Are you still not talking?
You could say that.
Any regrets?
I don't see why I would have any regrets.
That's no surprise. Personally, I find that giving a child so much power is dangerous. The problem is that you have to watch them all the time, otherwise they end up making a mess of things.
You might be right. Berrel didn't wait long before revealing his true nature. There's no denying that I'm at least partly to blame for the situation.
Indeed. I would have done something about it, and he would have begged me for forgiveness. Do you really think you'll have time to embrace Fang?
What do you mean?
Well, with all the elders gone, who knows who'll be next?
That's not something I'm willing to discuss with you.
Suit yourself.
No, excuse me, I have to go.
Of course.
Locked? Berrel must be out. I'll have to talk to him another time.
Mr. Bazori, your child left a few minutes ago.
I've seen princes come and go. In the end, it always comes down to a struggle for power between the prince and their primogen. Hazel is strong, but will she last much longer?
Galeb, I was wondering when I'd run into you.
Victoria, what a surprise. I didn't know you had decided to walk among us.
I'm always where you'd least expect me. It feels like I've been away for ages. Boston has changed so much. The only thing that hasn't changed is your steadfast presence at court.
Is that a problem?
You know it's not. I'm just surprised, that's all. There's a whole world outside this city, you know?
I've had my fill of adventure. I'm not interested in that anymore.
You're so boring. The world has changed so much since you last ventured out, Galeb. Then again, it's almost reassuring to find you unchanged. Iverson is lucky she can count on your loyalty. You're a valuable resource, Galeb, especially in times like these.
I'm only doing my duty.
Ever the cheerful one.
You don't seem to be hurt. I take it you weren't at the party last night.
Heavens no. I was in your prince's personal suite. We hadn't even left yet when the Code Red was initiated.
Good timing.
Good timing indeed. When I think that the Second Inquisition's butchers were lying in wait, I'd shiver. If I could.
So many elders are gone, and yet, here you are. How is it possible?
Because I want to, that's all. I enjoy my existence. Why give it up?
But you must also feel that force. The insistent calling, night after night.
Yes, but unlike so many others, I have a reason to resist. Don't you?
I still have some ties that keep me here. I won't leave without having one more child.
You're sure taking your time.
I'm waiting for the prince's blessing. It shouldn't be long now. Fang will be embraced soon.
Fang! Oh yes, I see. She seems charming, spirited even. You have a knack for finding true gems. I remember your sire, Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
I didn't see him at court. I remember he was very popular back in the day.
He left with all the others.
Oh. I know the two of you were very close. His absence must have left quite the void.
I have no energy to waste on regrets. Jean-Baptiste had no choice. No more than I do. That's all there is to say on the matter.
Of course. I'd expect nothing less from you.
I hadn't heard you were coming to Boston.
Indeed. I wouldn't be stuck in this tower if I hadn't gotten wind of your arrangement with Hartford.
Well, isn't that a shame?
It's not been a complete waste. I met your prince, and I got to see a few old friends. I just hope it's not at the cost of my unlife.
You seem to have met Feng.
We had the chance to talk last night. She was pacing the floor while you were gone.
I told her to keep quiet.
And she did. She's a smart, young woman of great consequence. You shouldn't treat her like a child.
The court is full of predators. Feng is easy prey in the eyes of many.
She's more resourceful than you think.
Not against kindred this old.
Ugh. Oh, Galeb, please. Is it her pretty face that's got you acting like a knight in shining armor?
I'm just trying to protect her.
That's what I'm saying. I've had my share of protective followers too. Men who thought they could use their power to protect my delicate nature. I've survived longer than them all.
I'm not overprotective of her, if that's what you mean.
That's not the impression you give off. I hope you're able to find a balance, or you'll both suffer.
My obligations to Hazel kept me away from the court last night. Did I miss anything important?
No, nothing much. I ran into Berrel. He was with your charming little protege.
I don't like the sound of that. Did you hear their conversation?
That would have been very impolite of me.
You've met Berrel. You and I both know he's as slippery as an eel. But Feng hasn't experienced it yet.
You hold your firstborn in particular esteem.
Berrel is who he is. And I'd like to keep Feng far away from his poison. So I'll ask you again. Did you hear their conversation?
You're playing on my heartstrings. Yes, I did overhear bits and pieces of their conversation. Berrel paid extra special attention to your apprentice. She seemed troubled.
I see. The snake.
I didn't realize he was so toxic, even with regard to his own bloodline. You better keep a close eye on that one.
I will. Thank you for the information.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Galeb.
The First Inquisition. The first time our supremacy was challenged. A peace agreement that put an end to a bloody revolt. Ancilla against neonates. Camarilla against anarchs. Let's see if Kaius was right. Jara has always been wary of new technology. That should take less than a minute. I hope Kaius will be able to use what's on this thumb drive.
Jara always was old-fashioned. Whatever's in this box must be important.
Jara was conducting her own investigation. There is no way Kaius would be expecting that.
It appears Kaius was wrong. He and Jara may have been looking for the same individual.
I think that's everything. Now it's Kaius's turn.
Hello, Mr. Vizori. Mr. Leto asked me to wait until you were done. He also told me you'd have something for me.
Give me just another minute.
All right, but hurry up. We're supposed to have cleaned all this up already.
You'll wait.
Do you have something for Mr. Leto?
Here it is. Give it to him, and him alone.
And don't ask any questions. I get it. Are you done here?
You may proceed.
Thanks.
I hope Kaius knows what he's doing.
Hazel is probably ready to see me now. I won't make her wait. where is Feng?
Is there a problem, Mr. Bizori?
Feng, did you see her leave?
No. Sorry, I had to step out for a few minutes. When I got back, she was gone.
I asked her to wait for me.
Meet me there.
Okay, sure.
The prince is ready to see you now.
Great.
Galeb.
My prince.
We were expecting you.
How may I be of service to you this time?
One thing at a time. The situation has changed. The money is gone. The accounts have been emptied.
What? That's impossible.
Only Jason Moore could have transferred the money. The situation is dire.
We still don't know who gave Lehane her orders?
No, unfortunately not. You shouldn't have let them get away, Galeb. They would have been able to tell us more. All we know is that it's someone from here.
If there's a traitor among us, I'll have their head.
One thing at a time. I'll take care of the traitor, personally. Failure is a luxury we will soon be unable to afford. If you have nothing more to say, we can move on to the reason I sent for you.
What did you think about Richard Dunham's file?
Money that should be going to me seems to go missing whenever he touches it. Richard is far too important to me. I can't afford to upset him now. But if his research doesn't pay off soon, I won't hesitate to show him my disappointment.
Did you read Jaradori's file?
I wish I'd never seen it.
There's too much I despise in it.
She never mentioned she was monitoring the Primogen's finances. Or this, Catapotis. What on earth is it?
I've got no idea.
It doesn't add up. It seemed important to her.
But she's not here to shed any light on it.
I'm listening.
I've asked for your presence here because I have a new mission for you. Delsin was able to track down the men who attacked us.
It wasn't easy, but it was impossible for them to disappear without leaving a trace after what they did yesterday.
Where are they hiding?
Long Island.
Yes, of course. An abandoned facility just off the coast. An old fort. It's the ideal place for a secret base.
and certainly much more. Who knows what they're up to out there?
How is it we didn't notice a thing?
They have abundant resources, and we're short on eyes.
It doesn't matter. We'll find the people responsible for the situation later. Our most pressing issue is preventing them from striking us again.
How?
You're going to go there and kill their leader.
Sending me there. That seems to be a rather bold choice.
I don't see anyone better for the job.
Infiltration isn't really my specialty.
You'll be dealing with Kine. You'll be a fox in a henhouse. I'm not worried about you. And Delsin knows how to get you in.
Oh, that changes everything.
They evacuated the bodies from the site of the party, which is how we were able to pick up their trail.
There's a small, nondescript warehouse at Jeffrey's Point. As far as we can tell, their transfers from Boston to Long Island are made by boat. To avoid drawing attention to themselves, they've chosen to employ only small craft. There are bodies packed in the warehouse waiting to be shipped over. Do you get the picture?
You want me to disguise myself as a body to be evacuated?
Exactly. All you have to do is stop simulating your vital functions for a few hours.
It's risky.
It's risky, but it's now or never. We might never get another opportunity. We have to try.
The last transfer is probably going to take place tonight. After that, there's no way of knowing when we'll get another chance.
I need to know the details.
Let us worry about getting you into the warehouse. We've made all the preparations. You won't have to worry about a thing until you get to Long Island.
We know where they are. Why go through their warehouse?
Charging into Long Island blind would be far too risky.
And with a traitor in our midst, I'd rather keep this to a small circle of trusted people, to avoid any other unpleasant surprises.
And after that?
Once you're on the island, you'll be in uncharted territory. You'll be on your own.
Who is my target?
Walter Stanford.
He's the head of the Boston Task Force. He's part of what they call the Society of Leopold.
Someone else will take his place.
No need for you to worry about that for the time being. Your mission is to eliminate Stanford, and that's all.
What do we know about this Stanford?
Not much. They're very careful. He was sent from the Vatican, and he brought other fanatics with him. If he's here, it means that Rome has faith in him, and that can't be good for us.
He's got to be taken out.
What's the Vatican getting out of all this?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems that the kind are trying to get a better understanding of us in order to hunt us more effectively. These priests have been our enemies for ages. They have knowledge.
Putting an end to them is crucial. We must keep our enemies from unifying their strength.
I don't wish to be the bearer of ill tidings, but what if I fail? Do you have a backup plan?
Galeb, you won't fail. You're our only hope. We place all our trust in you to complete this essential mission.
There's no room for error, Bazori.
Aren't you worried someone will tip off the SI? There's still a traitor among us.
The traitors, my department. You need to strike quickly, and don't let anyone know of your plans. We can't take the slightest risk.
All right. I've heard enough.
Very well. Then you should get going. We've already lost enough time.
Very well. My prince,